Hey folks, Aaron here, otherwise known as iFiler, and welcome back to Magic Arena. Now I've been away for a little while playing Magic Online, preparing for a couple of budget guides to Magic Online, one of them in Modern, one of them for Commander. But right now I thought I'd just upload some pretty spicy Izzet Spells gameplay that just happened to me recently. To be fair, it was quite a long slog versus a Golgari deck. It was a keep 7 from me, and I have a lot of draw spells, so there's a lot of drawing. But we'll look into the gameplay a little bit more when it picks up after the first few turns. I just want to go through some things that's happened in the Magic community that I've not really talked about recently. One of them, Ultimate Masters. I'm a modern player, dabble in Commander, and would like to dabble in Legacy one day. What do I think of it? I would love it if it wasn't so pricey. I think that's kind of the standard issue thought about Ultimate Masters. I am one day away from the full spoilers of it all, and from what I can see, to be fair, outside of the chase rares and mythics we've seen, the set's got some reprints that's been needed, but also got some cards that I just don't understand why have been put in there, like the Exalted Angel, and another Alara card. I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head, but I'm unsure about some of the cards provided. But hey ho, that's just my opinion. Once we see the full list, I might have my full opinion upon it. Another one would be the introduction of the challenge players directly on Magic Arena. I really like it. There is a big problem with it though, and I had looked through the UI quite a lot today to see if I could find it. There's no friend list for it, so you could challenge friends if you knew their name with the code on it, but you can't, by the looks of it, keep them on there permanently. And I'll have to test this with actual people and seeing games in it after the game if you can keep the number on there permanently. But it seems like they are missing that. The other bonus, of course, is there is a code card in gift set. So if you are looking for a really cheap, easy present for someone who you might want to get into Magic, or if you're trying to get ideas for someone who doesn't know Magic but you are a Magic fan for Christmas, this gift set might be a good option. Gives you 5 cards that are unique for that set based around Planeswalker decks, along with 4 packs of M19. It's quite nice. I feel this was just a play mistake right here of Vraska's contempting the Ral, because no matter what in that situation I was going to get a plus 1 draw. I probably would have saved it until end of turn, but hey ho, that's just me. Another one off the top of my head of things that are happening in the Magic community would be on top of the Masters announcement, the lack of Masters after this set, according to Wizards, for a little while. To be fair, that's not a bad thing. We've seen like 3 sets in the past year, maybe more. It's kind of becoming quite flooded, and the last couple have been quite disappointing. I honestly feel like, as a person who bought a box of Masters 25 with this Ultimate Masters, I'm a little bit annoyed with the fact that this set came out so quickly after, and the fact that the box toppers are a thing, especially at the price they're at right now. We're talking anywhere between £200 and £400 for some of these box toppers, and that's the 2 chases. The lowest I've seen one so far is still 80 quid, and that's for the Lava Claw Reaches and all the other manlands that are really not needed. I don't feel Ultimate Masters is going to do what I would love it to do, which is reduce the price of Modern for people who want to play anything other than the most budget entries, such as Storm and I say kind of Tron because certain builds of Tron are quite cheap versus the standard issue type of Tron, where you have the likes of Karn, which is not going to see a price reduction even though he's reprinted, and the lack of Ugin. I'm actually really confused. Why didn't Ultimate Masters have a reprint of Ugin? Because he's still up to, I think, $25, maybe $30. He's not gotten any cheaper. If you're talking about his promo one, that's nearly $100. While on Magic Online right now, you could I picked up a playset of the promo Ugin for I think it was for about $2. It's ridiculous, but you'll see a video on that of how to play budget Magic in Tron. It's not your normal Tron, it is a mono black build. It's gone through quite a few iterations, but it is quite a fun deck to play. And that will be on the channel quite soon. I've just got to do some finer tweaks and then get some gameplay for you. But anyway, let's have a chat about what's going on the screen right now. So we are looking at Golgari vs Izzet, as you already were. The game kind of goes back and forth. My life total gets really low. We're at 8 right now. But we slammed down a 12-4 Crackling Drake. The game's gone so long and this deck runs so many draw cards that I essentially have a nuclear deterrent in the form of Crackling Drake. Now I feel the opponent was kind of being a little bit cocky here with the fact that a draw 3 is really good for me, but also starting to take 4 damage from risk factor where my Crackling Drake will not be reduced. It's a little bit risky, especially because right now if I chose to swing, he'd be on 1. And I'm playing red, there is a chance I'm running shock. But there's a Doom Whisperer in the way. So of course, we now both have deterrents for swinging at each other. They have a 6-6 on the board. I have a 12-4. So what happens will probably be, we'd both swing, one of us will swing, the block would happen, both die. And for me, I would then be left with dealing with 2 damage now per turn, a few turns, and we're done. Opt here with the Scry for the risk factor, another one, so smack that down. This is again another one of where I was a little bit confused as to why my opponent decided on the 4 damage. To be honest, I had no cards in hand after this, so making sure I didn't have any draw was, I suppose, okay, but I personally would probably let me draw 3. There's a lot less problems with me drawing 3 than taking 4 to the face, especially when you go below 10 with it. But again, we see another Explore card. So this is probably the Golgari mid-range deck with a lot of Explore mechanics rather than kind of the traditional Dredge like Dredgy Undergrowth mechanic. Talking of Dredge, I am trying to build a standard Dread in blue, black and green rather than the standard Grixis colour with no Arclight Phoenix. Mainly because I thought it would be kind of interesting trying to make Golgari have a little bit more presence, maybe some control magic in there as well. We will see. I've also been considering doing Abzan, and I'm going to try and build Paper Storm. I've nearly completed it, and maybe doing some real game games in paper of Storm and my other favourite deck, which is Gruul Land Destruction is what it's currently known. But it's gone through so many names in the last year. This is like the latest one. I think it's just because of the Ravnica return we're looking at using the old names again. So we go into a Chandler's Insight for a draw 2. I feel this was one of the best draw 2s we saw in this game. We saw some amazing Charter Course punts throughout the game. But there's an Arclight Phoenix and the Charter Course so we can ditch it. I continuously lose count of how many spells I keep casting per turn, but I'm pretty sure I was on at least 4 here. So I don't count Arclight Phoenix. We have an 18-4 Crackling Drake and a 3-2. And it's pretty much solved there. They can swing at me for 4, but I can swing at them for a lot more than that, even if they're blocking the 18. And they scoop it up. And I thought we'd have a couple more turns, but they scooped it up. And that is our game with Izzet Spells. Thank you very much for watching and look forward to seeing more soon.